Hot
What's
as
at
fuck
100%?
right here.
I just seen the set of percentage at the bottom. I did a countdown, then it started doing a percentage.
Yo, we're on fucking YouTube. Let's get it. Let's get it. We're on YouTube. Let's get it. What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Untamed live YouTube stream. How we doing, Dodie? How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
You know,
Or with
I'm doing all
you?
right.
Good.
I'm doing okay, Dodie. You know, a little stressful with this live stream stuff, man. I'm not gonna lie.
No, don't be stressed. No reason to be stressed. You're the man for the job. I think. Can't get this light thing right.
Man, you know, how's your day been, man? How you live? How you living?
And I'm always living magnificent, incredible.
You know, that's good, man. Gonna get this little post going here. If you wanna sit tight real quick, and then we get started, man. I'll get after you, man. We got some good topics today. Get right after you, son. Get
I'm
right
glad. I'm
after
glad
you today.
you're having a good day.
Trying to, man. You know, I had a half day. Get to fly out to California tomorrow to get my wife back. Finally, get my wife back finally, and then we'll be ready to go, man. Be back here finally after a
Yeah.
long hiatus of being apart from each other.
It was what, 2 weeks?
No, it's been a month since I last
Oh,
seen her.
okay, 4 weeks. Okay.
It's been a month since I last seen her, dog.
Yeah. Living that married life now.
Yeah, man. All right, man. So let's get right into it, man. You already know who it is, man. This your boy Bubba.
Coach Doty.
Hey, man, we live now. We on something. We're on YouTube this week. Finally, trying to get something going, trying to get us out there a little bit. Uh, you know, that's how it be, man. So, man, we're gonna get straight right into it, man. Some talk about some college sports today. Big 12 had their media day. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Introduced the new schools: UCF, Cincinnati, Houston, and BYU. UCF, Houston, and Cincinnati all came from I believe it was the American Atlantic Conference, something like that. It was a conference. BYU has been independent for a while, and now they come into, I think, and I already know, the best conference in all of college sports, and they want to come play with the big dogs, man. They want to come hang out with us. And your great University of Texas is leaving to the SEC after this year. So I know last time we talked a little bit about how they were joining school, or they were joining the conference and whatnot, and now they had the introduction themselves. So yeah, man, what's your take on it before we really deep dive into the subject?
Well, them being the top conference, no. Even with the additions of those schools, no. It's the SEC here, and pretty much in all sports, especially now since Oklahoma taking that softball team, the Texas is bringing their softball team. So through all sports, SEC hands down. Now the new boys on the block, there is, it's a nice fit for what's going to be left to compete within the Big 12. That's not knocking nobody, but I think those schools can come in and fit in. gonna be a lot of travel. It's gonna be a little bit different, traveling to Morgantown and Cincinnati and UCF and definitely out there to BYU. But Houston to fit in traveling wise real good. So I can see
Yeah,
this
real
conference,
close.
expanding. I can see it expanding a little bit more, but we didn't get into expansion.
If they do expand, who else they gonna bring in?
It's a lot of schools, especially after this year. It's gonna be. I think you're gonna see the tables turn, and I mean,
Colorado and Texas A&M come back.
if Texas A&M, that ain't gonna be a good look for Texas A&M if they leave the SEC and run back to the Big 12. I mean, they're running from Texas. That's not a good look. So I don't see that happening.
I mean, they were at one point in the Big 12, and then they left just like any other school, just to go to the SEC. So
Yeah.
Mizzou will definitely not come back. They gonna sit there. They took that one on the chin. They were top dogs in the Big 12, and then they had a good couple years in the SEC, and then now they're just like any other average school in the SEC. They're down at the bottom for sure. But I think as far as for the new schools coming in, I think I think the better two I think is Cincinnati and Houston,
In
especially
football,
for football. Especially, well, I mean, just overall, like for all sports, from what I've seen and researched about Houston and Cincinnati are a little bit more dominant than they were in the American Athletic Conference. Um, the past 4 years, Houston's had maybe one good season. Cincinnati had two good seasons for football, especially in 20 and 21, where they lost to Georgia in the Cotton Bowl, and then in 21 they made it to the college football playoff, the first non-Power Five school to make it, which kudos to them. And then the BYU, I mean, they had one good season the past couple of years for football. Zach Wilson was that quarterback for them. UCF has had one good season from what I can remember when they had their undefeated season in 2017. As far as for basketball, I mean, look at Houston last year. They were number one for quite a long time. They went as a number one seed into the tournament. And I can't remember. I think they lost in the Sweet 16 or Elite 8. I can't remember which one it was. BYU's always had a good couple basketball teams from when I remember growing up. Cincinnati, I think they've made the tournament a couple times. I can't remember, honestly. It's very vague. But just overall, I think Houston and Cincinnati are just overall the better schools out of the four, I think, in my opinion.
I think it depends on what sport you're looking at.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
that
not
too
to
as
that.
well. I mean, everybody cares about football and basketball. I mean, and then you got your other people who are diehard baseball fans, softball, track. I mean, the list goes on and on. But from what I see from the two sports that we talk about the most, football and basketball, those are the two out of the cream of the crop.
I feel you, but I don't. I really think everybody's sleeping on BYU. You know, in a mixed situation because they're gonna have more mature players. You know, a lot of those guys are gonna be coming back from mission trips, and it's gonna be a little bit more mature, easy to coach. And BYU got one of my most favorite coaches because he's so intense. That coach is so intense, and you know they love to go over in California and to the islands and bring back the Samoans and hey, Samoans
Yep.
and them Tongans, and
Yep.
those boys can play some ball. The Islanders can play some ball, man. So I really see them really producing. BYU.
We'll see what happens, man. As far as for football, I think Cincinnati will be a better team. Houston struggled against a couple Big 12 teams last year. KU beat Houston. You know, when we was on that road to the rank, when we was on that road to getting ranked. Cincinnati, I think they went 9-3 last year, so they had a decent year. They made a bowl game. I think they'll be good for football, basketball. They might elevate themselves. Houston, I think for basketball, they're definitely gonna I say give KU a run for their money, maybe in the first year, but then maybe they'll show their true colors later on in the tournament, like they did. Because the the Atlantic Athletic, whatever it is, their conference, it wasn't a strong basketball conference, which is why they were running over everybody. Big 12 is the best basketball conference in the nation. We put up top 25 teams every year. You know this because Texas was ranked last year as well. So I mean, I think Houston will elevate the Big 12, but then it's going to give everybody a run for their money for sure. As far as the other schools, maybe BYU. I mean, the only reason why I remember BYU is because of Jimmer Fredette, and he was raining threes, during his career at BYU. But any other time, I don't remember really seeing them around.
They done had their runs, kind of like Cincinnati. They done ran their runs before. And I really Houston and Kansas. I really, I think that's gonna be a good rivalry. I don't think Kansas is just gonna like dominate it, and Houston is not gonna show up. I mean, they got good coaches. They recruit good, and now I mean, think about it. It used to be would I go to Kansas and be in the middle of nowhere, or would I go to Houston and be somewhere?
Okay, but you got to
Now
give a credit,
that's
man.
not
Lawrence is right by KC. I mean, Mass Street in Lawrence. Lawrence is a party city for sure in Kansas.
as
And you
cold
are
as it
treated
gets.
like and you are treated like royalty if you are a star player on the team. Everybody gonna get the treatment, man. Akeem Talib got the treatment. Chris Harris Jr. I can go list them on and on the basketball players. Devontae Graham, Mikhailuk, Azubuike. We just won. They just won the Natty, man. You know they were getting the special treatment in Lawrence. Come on now, Houston. I mean, just gonna be another average Joe down there. I mean, come on. You want to be ranked top five, pushing for another Big 12 title, and maybe playing for a Natty, or man, you want to go to Houston, maybe not get that very far. I mean, you tell me. You tell me,
Houston,
though.
Houston, Houston. You know, I love the heat. I don't like that cold. And the little time I was up there, that Rock Chalk Jayhawk, yeah, it's only during basketball season. It ain't a year round
Uh,
thing. You know, I'd rather be I'd rather be in Houston.
well, we'll see how they play here. Football season coming up, man. So we'll see how everything goes, and we'll see how they fit in the Big 12 their first year, man. Let's move on to some NFL news, man. You got any updates? Anything you've heard that I haven't heard yet? Before I share my news.
Cowboys gonna win the Super Bowl.
All
What the
right.
news good
Besides
about?
that, you go ahead, keep dreaming. I saw the Jets. They extended their big boy Quentin Williams to try and hold him down. He did by far their best player on the defense, so I give them credit for that. Saquon has not signed a contract yet. So has Josh Jacobs hasn't signed a contract yet. And I saw we have until Monday to sign my boy back. I'm a little worried. I'm gonna be very honest with you because it's been
Wow.
stalling. We need our best player. Are you kidding? The offense run throughs him, man. We need our run game.
True.
But I mean, at the same time, he probably wants 12 to 15 mil a year, which I would pay him. Like I said on the previous show, I would pay him. But I mean, that's just me. In reality, I'm a little worried that I don't think they're gonna sign him. I think it's gonna stall all the way until training camp,
Hey, I was
and then
running back. I under- I understand what a lot of people talk about longevity and of the running back and all of that. Man, come on. So you pay them for what their bodies go through? I mean, I've not heard nobody really talk about paying them for the punishment they go through.
man.
You know what I'm saying? Pay them for the punishment they go through. Now, if that's the case, if you're gonna back cut them down the line and not pay them because of their longevity, but then running backs need to make a lot of money up front. A
Yeah, then
lot of money up
their
front.
rookie contract should be front loaded then.
For real. But hey,
Because if
you
they're
know how
not going to get
business
a
is.
second if they're not going to get a second contract, then Because now here's the thing that I've been seeing now. I mean, if I was Josh Jacobs, I'd be a little worried too about bringing in a replacement that could be. They people might say that he's better than him, Dalvin Cook. Maybe just getting him for a 1 year deal, but at the same time, however much he wants, why not just give Jacobs that same amount of money per year for 3, 4 years, however long you want to keep him? Especially after Jacobs getting the rushing title and putting up 1,600 yards with a bottom 25 offensive line. I mean, dude killed it this year. I did not expect that at all. I did not expect that at all. He definitely helped us win. He probably helped us win majority of our games,
True.
even though we only won six. But hey, in all those 6 games, I'm sure he was balling his ass out from what I remember.
Yeah, that's the thing. You put your body on the line as a running back, then at the end of the day,
It's
what
the same
payoff do
thing.
he get?
It's the same thing with Saquon. I mean, Saquon's played what, maybe 2 good years of football? Because I'm from what I remember, he got hurt his rookie year, and then he played some. And I think he got hurt again, and then this past year, I think it was finally his first full healthy season, in which he did his thing for sure. But I'm from what I saw, they offered him 13 mil a year for 3 years, and he still didn't take it. I mean,
Well, I think that's
well, what
because
more do you
he's the
want? Like,
franchise.
I mean, I
No,
understand
no,
he
no.
is.
What more do you want? He the franchise. He's carrying the franchise.
He is.
Literally, think
So is
about it.
Danny Dimes. So is Danny Dimes. I mean, come on. He played a lot better under the new coach this year. I know y'all beat him both times, but you have to give him credit
For what?
for playing better than he has the past 3 years.
All right.
Hey, he gonna get you guys this year, man. Watch. Sleeping on him. Sleeping on the Giants, man.
With sleeping pills. I guess. Oh man, no. No, we're not worrying about them. That other team with the W in their logo. We worrying
Yeah,
about
they're
that.
not really worthy to talk about. They're not that very good.
No, we just worried about that duck they call an eagle.
Man, did you hear anything else? Any other news that I forgot to mention?
Nah, not in the
Other than the D
NFL.
Hop,
But if
other
you
than
go
that.
back to that the Williams signing up there with the Jets, that was huge. Locking him
Oh yeah,
down, locking
top
him
five
down.
defensive lineman.
Yes, yes, that dude will get after you. Now they can start really building something on the defensive side. Because Aaron Rodgers, he can take a little and do a lot with it. I'm saying,
I mean, well,
I'm interested.
I mean they had a solid defense last year. That's why they were winning majority of their games because of their defense.
Yeah, true, but now you have somebody who can come in and orchestrate
Yeah,
an offense with a little bit of nothing. So now we can put a little bit more money on the defensive side of the ball. We can start really, really luring guys to come in here that can, really be game changers, not just playmakers.
true, true. Anybody else? I see D Hop still ain't got a contract yet. He's gotten offers, but he hasn't taken anything. Your boy Zeke Elliott, he's still a free agent. I see. Should go ahead and bring him back, man. 1 year deal. Bring him back for 1 year deal.
No, no. He can be an assistant coach. But we just need a little bit more than what he brings to the table right now.
All right, man. Well, let's move on, man.
Don't
Gold
get me
Cup.
wrong. I love Zeke for what he done. Trust me, I love Zeke for what he done for us in the past. Great cowboy running back. You know what I'm saying? But we
He
just need a
not
little
Emmett.
bit right
He
now.
not Emmett.
But Emmett didn't. Honestly, Emmett didn't take the pounding he took. Because Emmett had some guys who you weren't touching Emmett. They took pride in that. Not saying that the Cowboys don't have that now, but man, Emmett had a whole nother different monster, whole nother different
Yeah.
coaches. You know what I'm saying? And it was a little bit different in Dallas at that time. Right now, what we got in Dallas, coaching staff wise and all that, I think we need to be going and getting, a Dalvin Cook right now. You know what I'm saying? And a D Hop. I think
With what money? With what money?
Jerry, pay fines. Pay the fine. That's
Yeah,
it.
we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see. Let's move on, man. Move on to the Gold Cup, man. Recap from the bracket play. You know, quarterfinals. Mexico handled their business against Costa Rica. USA got out of there on a penalty kick shootout against Canada. Jamaica got a 1-0 win over Guatemala. And then I saw Panama had a dominant win over your underdogs, Qatar. They beat them 4-0. I honestly knew Mexico was going to win, had no doubt about it. Brought their starters back, a refresh. Jamaica, who I thought was the dark horse of the tournament for sure, they got a win, no doubt. I mean, a win's a win, 1-0, regardless of the score. USA, for them being elite, I was a little bit disappointed how it took them to PKs to beat Canada because, for one thing, they were winning, and then closer to, I believe, it was the somewhere in the 80th minute area, Canada go down there, scores a nice goal, goes into extra time. Canada gets it's somewhere closer to the end of extra time. A killer knuckleball shot off the left side to the right side of the goal. USA comes back, gets a stellar goal over the middle, sends it to PKs. I really thought Canada was going to win that game, but hey, USA did what they had to do, got the win, good for them. The semifinals, man. USA and Panama was a great game overall. Went back and forth. I really thought Panama got robbed before the end of regulation with that missed handball call. Panama for sure got robbed because they would have scored, won the game, 1-0. That'd have been it. Okay,
How do you know they would
but
have scored?
because they were literally in the scoring position, and
That don't mean you gonna.
if they call a handball in the box, you know what that is? That's a penalty kick. You know what? That's automatic. 1-0. That's it. Ball game. Go
Oh,
ahead.
how
Blow
you
the
gonna be automatic?
whistle. Blow the whistle. That's it. Done. It's done. I'm telling you. So, but
That
that didn't
whistle would
happen, right?
have that y'all can have the game.
You know what? So that didn't happen, right? So then USA goes down there. They get a goal. Panama ties it before the end of regulation after the little extra time. Then they go into extra time. No goals scored. Um, then PKs. Panama was just clutch, man. I mean, they hit their shots. USA, they missed a couple, especially the very first one. The dude hit it in the stands. Like, come on, you're the first one up to put your team up one in PKs, and you skyrocketed into the audience. They should have cut him right after that. I hope they did, because how do you embarrass yourself on national television missing a PK like that?
Would you would have made it?
Hell yeah, I would have. Man, I'm telling you, a knuckleball right in the upper corner. I'd have made that, man. I'm telling you, I would have made that for sure.
I
And
got you.
then recap, Mexico and Jamaica. I really thought this was going to be a close game all the way to the end, and it wasn't. I I really thought Jamaica was the dark horse for the tournament just because of how their size, their speed, and how they moved the ball great the entire game. Definitely had some shots they could have made, but they didn't. Mexico got up early with like in 2 minutes of the game to get a goal. A couple minutes later, I think it was somewhere around like the 40th minute, they get another goal, and then it was just passing around, killing time, controlling the possession of the game. Jamaica could have got a couple goals towards the end, and then Mexico gets a goal in extra time with it was like 90 plus 3 or whatever. And now we got a final, Panama and Mexico, man. So I just recapped all of that from the last couple weeks. I'm gonna let you go ahead and go first on your prediction for this Sunday's matchup between Mexico and Panama, man. What you think? I want to hear it.
Mexico.
You sure? Because during
Hmm.
the week when we was talking, you said Panama. Now you switch your sides. I want to know what made you change your decision.
When did we talk about this?
Man, you said this the other day on the phone when we was off air. You said, "Yeah, Panama got it. I really think they do. I think Panama is gonna beat y'all." That's what you said. Did you not?
That's what I said, but that was to set you up.
Yeah,
Mexico.
okay. Okay. So you ride with the boys, man. You're riding with El Tri.
Yep.
I feel like this should be a close game. The way Panama played against USA, this should be a close game all the way to the end. And I think Mexico
I
will
don't think
win
so.
2-1. I got Mexico winning 2-1, 2-1, and they scored a second goal in the second half to win the game.
I got Mexico putting up 2 goals, but I think they're gonna shut them out.
Shut them out.
It's gonna be a shutout.
I think the way Panama played, I think they're lethal in the box for sure. So I think they'll get their one in the first half, just like Mexico will get one in the first half. But I think Mexico pulled out in the second half, 2-1. We'll add to our collection of gold cups that we got already. I really do. But it
I
but it
feel
could
you on
go the
that.
other way. It could go the other way because Panama surprised me, man. The way they came back and how resilient they were against USA.
Yeah, but I think that's the reason why, honestly, changing my prediction. Panama looked real, real good, honestly. But I think Mexico seen something, and I think they're gonna be ready for that flurry that Panama, what I'm saying, has been showing
Yeah, yeah,
over the Muslim games. So I think they're gonna, you know, step up and Mexico is gonna be ready for anything that Panama got for them. Panama is kind of tricky though. Like you said, they're real good in the box, and they like to. From my point of view, what I know about soccer, they do a lot of good passing through. Passing on the run, catching it on the run,
yeah, yeah.
ball
They had they
control.
had
So
a, they had a, they had quite a few breakaways in the USA game. I saw.
yeah, so I'm thinking Mexico is gonna be ready for that. You ain't gonna be able to surprise them because I think it's one of the things that Panama did to the U.S. U.S. Kind of came in, thought they had everything under control. I ain't gonna necessarily say they relaxed, but I think they kind of felt they had things in hand, and all of a sudden, Panama gets back in it.
We'll see. I'm a little disappointed. I really thought it was going to be a rematch for USA and Mexico. I really wanted that rematch, but
That's what we wanted, but
hey, they played the game, man. They choked. That's on them. They didn't. Especially Christian Pulisic, the best player on the USA men's national team, did not. He was nowhere to be found. That's their LeBron James. That's their goat. He is nowhere to be found.
well,
Not the past two games that I've seen, especially against Canada. Nowhere to be seen in the past two games. So they're gonna be sitting down watching the game. I'm sure they're gonna be tuning in Sunday, SoFi Stadium. Man, if I wasn't moving Raylene, I would be at that game, man. I'm telling you, it's just down the street. It's a 30-minute drive.
you can find tickets.
You know I could find tickets. Come on now.
No,
I'd
no,
be in
no.
the
That's
I'd
in
be in the
Kansas.
nosebleeds. I'd
That's
be
in
up there in the
Kansas.
nosebleeds.
No, you're gonna be outside in that stadium watching it from one of them flat screens on the outside of the stadium.
Nah, man. I'd have been in the stadium, in my seat, rocking my Mexico jersey. I would have been there, man. But that's not.
No,
Hey, I gotta move.
proudest
I gotta
though.
move.
No,
I gotta move my lady, man. So I gotta do what I gotta do.
yeah, yeah.
See what happens, man. Sunday, man. Next, that's the final game for the Gold Cup. Let's move on, man. Some MLB talk. The A's are like 80% for sure moving to Las Vegas from what I've seen. They already started their application and everything I saw. Man, is this going to be? I really wish they would stay in Oakland, but Oakland's pretty much the city of Oakland's done the Raiders, the Warriors, and now the A's dirty because they don't want to, put up some money to help, renovate the stadium. I mean, the A stadium is a dump. This is literally a dump. And now they're gonna move to Vegas just like the Raiders did. Try and get some money for it.
That's
Man, I don't
that's
know,
that's
man.
what it's all about. That's what it's
I
all
mean, yeah,
about.
it is.
I
It is.
honestly think on the low, it don't have nothing to do with the city of Oakland. The city of Oakland could have gave them the whole city, and still were gonna leave. The money they can
No,
generate,
no, no. The
the
city of
money they
Oakland
can
don't
generate.
want to. Don't want to. Literally, when the Raiders were deciding to move, they when there was the controversy, They're like only one of you, the Raiders or the A's, could get a new stadium. It was one or the
Mm-hmm.
other. So one of the either one. If one was getting the other one, they had to boot out. So they said the
Uh-huh.
A's will get a new stadium. We'll put the money up. All
Mm-hmm.
right, we're out. Fast forward, they're in Vegas. Now the A's come up. Hey, I'm ready for my new stadium. Oh well, we're gonna have to reconsider that. How you gonna reconsider it? You promised them,
Was it a
bro. They were
contract?
supposed to get a stadium.
Was it a contract? Did they write a
Obviously,
contract?
I guess not, because they not.
Okay.
That's
If
why
the
they're
one
leaving.
if the one the contract involved, all that other talk is just court. You know what I'm saying? You just courting each other. You ain't got no contract, you ain't mad. So all that
Man,
talk
they
about
every the same thing happens to the
Oakland
Warriors,
A's,
man.
Oakland A's see money in Vegas. That's what it
Oh
is.
yeah, yeah.
Baseball in Vegas. Think about that. Baseball in Oakland
I
and the
mean,
long tradition of the A's in Oakland
the
or the
Triple
money
A
they
team is
in
in
Vegas.
Vegas.
Come on. Okay, move them to Oakland. Trade spots. They see the
Well,
money that can be paid in Vegas, man.
they should have
Now,
kept
Major League
they sh-
Baseball in Vegas.
they should have kept the A's in Oakland.
Not saying they shouldn't. Not saying they shouldn't. But I really don't think Oakland could have done whatever they wanted to do. I just think they see money. If they don't move, somebody was going to eventually move there, and they won't. They see the money. I
I,
could be
I
wrong.
I understand what you're saying from a business perspective. Yeah, there's a
All
lot of
that,
money to come in from this. There's a
yeah,
lot of
all
money
that
to come from this.
marketing, all that, and for Oakland to even be up here like, okay, you gonna promise me a stadium? Put something right. They ain't put nothing in writing. No, we just that's hearsay talk.
They did not, man. I mean, I really that was literally the conversations they were having when the Raiders were trying to get a new stadium built in Oakland because they wanted to stay.
Uh huh.
They said no, only one team get the stadium. This would be the baseball team. Here we are now. The Raiders left in 2019, and that's when they were supposed to start their talks for the new stadium. Here we are now. Still nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just wrong, man. I really think that they should keep their promise. But like you said, ain't no contract, ain't nothing written down. Go ahead, pack your bags, and go ahead and move, man.
Did it hurt the Raiders or help them?
Um, from my perspective,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of both. A little bit of both, because it helped us because I mean we're in a bigger market, but it also didn't help us because we haven't done nothing as a team. So now it's opposing team heavy in the stands.
Okay.
So it helped us at the same time as far as revenue because they were like over 200 billion more than what they were supposed to make for their projected revenue for this past year. So for revenue wise, yeah, man, they did their thing. But as far as for the team, they obviously have one winning record. I can't even talk today. One winning record since moving there, and made the playoffs, one and done. Opposing, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's yes and no for them for the Raiders moving there. It's a benefit, but it's also not a benefit.
Raider fans used to be Raider fans only on Sundays. Now y'all Raider fans 7 days a week. Y'all want to rival with the Cowboys. Talk about y'all more known than the Cowboys, which
Man, we're
that's
Raider fans
insane.
every day, 365. It don't matter.
No, they can start to
I'm wearing my gear in March. It don't matter. I'm wearing
now,
it in. It don't matter. I wear my
now,
stuff all the time. You know this.
no.
I always got my gear on, man. Come on. You know I always got my gear on,
You just
man. Come
you
on.
didn't get that. Where did you get that? Where
Man,
did you get that?
I got this in 2019.
Vegas or post Vegas?
I got it before they went to Vegas.
But you knew they was going where?
What?
Do it say Oakland? Do it say Oakland Raiders? Do the tag say Oakland
No,
Raiders?
it just says the Raiders on there.
It just
I
said
just got the emblem.
exactly, just the emblem. You didn't put Oakland on there. So
I didn't have to.
To
because
Vegas.
we are a global franchise, man. We are the number one selling international merchandise. International, not just the states. International. We are an international team, and everybody loves us. Sorry, man. Not everybody likes Jerry's World. Okay, it's all right. You can come to the dark side, man. I know you want to join something that's great.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Come on, Doty.
Nope. That's not happening. Not happening. For so many reasons, it's not happening. But I'm not gonna get into that.
Man, so let's move on, man. Our last topic. We're gonna do a little debate. Here's my question for the debate. Will Texas and Oklahoma win a title in the Big 12 before they leave in 2024? And will they succeed in the SEC? I'm gonna let you go first. I'll let you go first.
Yes,
You know, this your team. This is one of your teams. By the way,
yes.
horns down, always horns down. I'm gonna let you go first, man.
So, Texas is gonna win it.
The Big 12
I'm calling it right now. Texas is gonna win it.
in one sport.
Football.
Track.
Huh?
I said track. It's not football.
Oh, so who gonna win in the football?
Probably K State. I mean, they're retaining a lot of dudes from last year. TCU
Yeah.
TCU had their nice run. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
lot. It was a very heavy senior class, man. A lot of guys went to the draft.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be good. It's honestly going to be between probably K State, maybe Oklahoma. Brent Venables didn't have a good first year. Still trying to build that program though, but I don't know. I think it'll be between K State and KU for the running. KU had a, in my opinion, a good year. Had some QB trouble because Jaden Daniels got hurt, but you know what? We got retained a lot of guys. Got some good transfers. I think it'll be between KU K State for Big 12 title for football. But I but
You
I
miss
I
Kansas
do
that
favor.
much? You miss Kansas that much? You miss
Now
Kansas
you
that
know
much?
me, man. Rock Chalk Jayhawk, man. You know me, man. I'm a die hard. Roll with my boys, man. Always.
Okay. Okay. Well, hey, you know what? You're faithful.
But I I don't see Texas or Oklahoma winning a Big 12 title in football or basketball before they leave. You
Basketball,
you
I can
know
so
basketball. You know basketball. You know who it runs through. You know who it runs through.
that gives us an even better reason to you know what I'm saying? Because in the Big 12, you don't have to get ready really for like. I mean, it's Big 12 got good basketball, but you always know Kansas is gonna be there. Going to the SEC, they got to worry about Alabama. They got to worry about Kentucky. I mean, they got other Arkansas. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
In a in a faster
I,
paced
I,
basketball to me.
I don't know about Kentucky, man. Maybe Kentucky has been on a bit of a slump the past couple of years. Now I give my respect to Arkansas because they did beat the reigning champs in the tournament. I give them that. Alabama, they have been slowly building their rep in basketball the past what, like 4 or 5 years now. Definitely been building their rep. I give them that. But when Texas goes over there, for football, they're going to be at the bottom, just like Mizzou is. Basketball,
Texas,
they're definitely probably top three, top four.
Texas is gonna be at the bottom like Mizzou.
Yeah, for football, I think so.
Wow.
You heard it, man. You heard it. I don't think Texas is going to be that good in the SEC for football.
Okay.
So answer this: do you think Texas will compete for an SEC title their first year there? Their first year there in the SEC. Do you think
I really think
they will compete for a SEC championship?
for the way they projecting these schedules to be, I think they got the hardest road. The first year, I think they're gonna have the hardest road, one of the hardest schedules in the SEC. I think anytime you go into a new conference, you're probably gonna get one of the hardest schedules. You know,
Oh yeah,
and I
no
think
doubt.
that's what Stark. That's what saying Stark is getting ready for. He know he's gonna have to go through the gauntlet. So I'm not gonna
You
be.
know they're gonna then they're gonna throw Alabama, Tennessee, LSU. I'm sure they're probably gonna throw Ole Miss at them. It's probably gonna be a front heavy schedule, to be honest with you. They're probably just gonna
Well,
throw them all at once.
and I think that's what Sark getting ready for. That's the reason why he, tried to open up last year with Alabama down in Austin. So now it's, what I'm
I
saying,
will
that's
give
the
you
start.
this. That was a good game. That was a good
Yeah.
game all the way to the end.
Ball hurt. Texas, had some eyebrows raised, But hey, that is what it is. We took that L last year, and I think Sark last year learned a lot about how crazy the Big 12 is. You know, you can go and win this game over here and blow Oklahoma out, play good against Alabama, come back, blow Oklahoma out, and then, struggle against Texas Tech, lose to Kansas State. You know, I think he sees how crazy it is in the Big 12 and how many different styles of football it is. But now he's going to get ready to go to the SEC to where mostly pro style offenses, not a lot of craziness like Texas Tech one week, Baylor the next week, and then you got to worry about K State, who may not
And
even throw the ball.
majority of those student athletes are going to the NFL after their junior or senior year. Majority of the NFL is SEC football.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna get back to a more stable way of playing football. It's not really no crazy offenses or something that you got to like really step out the way and really got to focus in and prepare for. I'm not saying it's a cookie cutter system, but you can focus a lot more on different things instead of the dynamics it is to play in the Big 12. Because Oklahoma State is always gonna give people fit just because they do a little bit of everything good. You know, they're not great at nothing in particular, but they do pretty much everything a little bit good, and they get up to play for it. I mean, play good against everybody. Last year, Kansas, I think they got a lot lucky. They stayed in a lot of games. They got
Lucky.
lucky.
Man, we went toe to toe Arkansas in that bowl game, man. And
Yeah,
it came down to overtime, man. So I mean,
yeah. And
you
that was a
got you
great game.
definitely
Tell
it,
you a lot of credit for that. They make the Big 12 look good. They did.
hey, we trying, man. We're trying.
Get consistency like we have in basketball.
That's what they're trying to work towards, man. They finally got a coach that's actually, you know, knows what he's doing. So we'll see what happens with KU football. We'll see. I expect them to jump. So again, I definitely expect them to get 8 wins this year. Definitely make some huge progress. Try and keep some guys healthy as well.
Who can they win?
KU.
Yeah, Texas gonna. I think Texas gonna win the
Yeah,
Big 12
no,
on their way.
not in
I think
football and not in basketball.
Oklahoma's gonna surprise some people too. Be
The
very
only
competitive.
thing Oklahoma's winning is softball. That's it.
Well, we might end up seeing a Big 12 finale, Oklahoma versus Texas for the Big 12 championship. That
For
could
what?
happen.
For what? What sport? Softball?
Football. That's the foot. No football.
No,
Oklahoma versus
I
Texas.
can see it. I can see a Texas K State Big 12 final. I mean, you gotta really ride the wave with K State, man. I mean, they had some cats last year. They
Hey,
definitely got some cats this year, man.
I love K State, man. I like K State.
As much as I hate
Got
K
Uncle
State,
Spencer next to the school.
the football team did not do good against Alabama. Alabama put that spanking on them for sure in whatever bowl game that was. They they did not do anything against Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, They was winning like 10-7. And then, Alabama, Nick Saban was like, all right, put the starters in. Let's get this over with. And,
The Wizard
with
of
the
Oz,
history.
Wizard of Oz effect. Remember you
Yep.
from Kansas.
I mean, Bama did what Bama did. But
Hmm.
I'm sorry, but Texas or Oklahoma is not. If Oklahoma's going to win anything, it's going to be a softball. That's it.
No, I think Oklahoma and Texas, they already know what they finna go into, and they finna get ready. They're gonna coach like they in the SEC. They're gonna play like they in the SEC, and they're gonna see what the other teams in the Big 12 got to bring to the table. And I really truly think, and I think we're gonna see Texas Oklahoma twice.
We'll see, man. We will see. It's going to be an interesting year for the Big 12 with all the new teams and everything.
Yep. You even want to see Texas versus Oklahoma for a Big 12
No,
championship in the Big
no,
12. Yeah, you do.
no,
Yeah, you do.
no, I don't.
You do.
I want to see my Jayhawks, man. But that's going to be a couple years from now. We got work to do. Big 12 basketball, man. I already expected Big 12 championship in Lawrence, man. I already know it.
That might end up in Houston
No, that's not.
or Austin. As long as it's on Texas soil, I
No,
really
it's
don't care.
it, it's not going anywhere south. It's staying in the Midwest.
It don't need to be in the Midwest.
It's gonna stay in the Midwest. It's gonna stay in Lawrence,
Nope,
man.
nope,
KU's gonna have
nope.
a
That's what
brand new team. They only got two dudes, two cats returning from last year's team on basketball team. Everybody else is all transfers and freshmen.
uh-uh.
And I bet you they'll still win the Big 12 with a brand new team. I bet you they still win. You know what? I'm gonna laugh at you, and you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna put them horns down when it happens.
Okay, and when it don't happen, I'm gonna make sure that you got great health insurance because you are going to you gonna be in the ER every other week.
We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. You got anything else you want to talk about, man, before we close this thing out, man?
No, I don't. Nothing that old.
Man, well, it was good. It was good to get a little untamed with you on the show. But we will. We'll get. I'll be gone this weekend, man. We'll be back on the show again next week, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, go follow our Facebook page, TikTok page. All the links are everywhere, man. You already know, man. You already know what it is. This is your boy Bubba.
Coach Doty, man, you be safe.
Hey, peace.